Beep beep! What is up, ninjas? My name is Samworld, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make melodies like Avicii. Now, when I say that, I don't mean in the style of Avicii. I mean we're actually going to make melodies like he did back then, before he passed away. May he rest in peace. Now, how can I say this? Well, if you guys didn't know, he did a Future Music Magazine interview back in the day, a couple years ago, where you can actually see him working on a melody on a track he actually released. And as he's working there, you can see his workflow process with the melody, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Before I watched it, I didn't really know what he was doing. I was like, oh, he's just following the chord notes. But now I know that he was creating very stable melodies and using the chords as a guide for that. And today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do that. So hopefully this tutorial is really helpful. And if it is, make sure to hit like and comment down tutorial suggestions down below, guys, so that I can make them for you and help you become better producers. Now, as always, guys, if you want to support the channel, make sure to go over to evilsounds.com, where you can find a lot of my sound banks for specific genres of music, which I think are some of the best out there. So make sure you check it out. And if you like something and you want to support the channel, that's the best way to do it, because in return you get something as well. But anyways, guys, let's get straight to this tutorial.
Alright guys, and here we are inside of Ableton, and like always, a disclaimer, guys, I'm no music theory expert. I'm sure some of you guys out there are way better music theory experts than me, but this is a cool trick that I saw in Avicii's video that I really liked, that I just wanted to show you guys because I feel like it's going to help a lot of people out. Now, keep in mind, guys, what we're doing is pretty much creating stable melodies or stable tonalities throughout the melody. The problem with this is that it makes your melody very predictable. It makes it kind of boring if you ask the music theory experts. But the funny thing about it is that if you go and study a lot of the Billboard's top 100 songs, a lot of dance music, a lot of the melodies are always going to be stable, which is kind of funny. And there's always that grasp within me is like, who the hell should I listen to? But at the end of the day, do what you like. And if you like the melody, that's what should matter. So, guys, here we have the first chord progression we're going to make a melody for, doing it the way Avicii did in his video. Alright, so starting things right off, guys, you know, being stable or having a stable tone just means that when you're playing a melody, it's playing a note that belongs to the harmonic triad. I fucking sound smart, don't I? But all I mean is the three notes that are a part of your chord, okay? So if I have a D sharp, F sharp, and an A sharp here, which is the D sharp minor chord, or the, you know, the E flat minor chord, you can say, I don't know if I'm right with that. Pretty much the note has to start on this chord. So I can easily say, oh, I can start my melody on D sharp or F sharp or A sharp. Now, which one should you go with? Well, I have a couple tips for you. Usually, if you're playing the, let's say, the D sharp chord, it's better to start the melody on F sharp or A sharp because it tends to harmonize a lot better than if you were to start it on the D sharp. And I'll show you what I mean. So pretty much we'll start it on the D. You can see that. We'll start it on the F sharp. And, you know, we're going to move this maybe a little bit more up so we can hear. There we go. So we can even start it up here. You can start it anywhere else as well, but if we're going the route of Avicii with stable melodies, you know, we're going to start it on that. So I'm going to go with the F sharp here. And then next important thing is going to be rhythm, guys. This is something that is going to be a lot harder than what we're doing. So I know I'm part of this, you know, this chord right now, so I can easily play the F sharp melody. So I'm going to do a little. Okay, now as we approach the second, you know, the 1.3 here, this isn't a full bar yet. We're switching to a different chord now. So if I'm doing it the Avicii way, pretty much when I hit that chord, let's say my melody hits here, I want it to hit one of the notes that is part of that chord, again, being very stable with it. So if I want, I could go with, like you can see, a C sharp, an F, or a G sharp. So we can try, you know, an F. And that sounds very pleasing, as you can see. I can even go to a G sharp. Very pleasing again, because it's very stable. It's a very stable tone. If I decide to go, let's say, to like something that's not stable, like A sharp, or, you know, it doesn't really sound, as you can see, that pleasing. So what Avicii did a lot was that he would maintain stable. Yes, he would go out of stableness into unstable tones, but the majority of the time, the melody would switch, be stable, maybe unstable, unstable, stable, stable, stable. So that's the idea that I want to get you guys to do, that to create your melody. So you can see that doesn't work. So I really liked when we went to that F, so I'm going to go there. And then here we're going to add maybe a more. So. Okay, I think I want that, okay? Now from here we switch now to B, a D sharp, and F sharp. So again, following the same rule, I can go to either one of those, and I think I'm gonna go back up here. Again, worrying about melody. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to create melody now. Now, don't think we're just going to leave it like this, because then that would be a super boring melody. I think the music theory experts probably say, don't do this. But now we can add variation. So starting there, I can move this here and do melody. And then here we can try different things. And then here we go down to a different chord now. On the 3, we're going to stay on that B sharp chord. So we're pretty much hitting this chord a lot, man. So D sharp and F sharp, that's a good thing. It's still staying like relatively close. So we can actually go. So there's our first melody using stable tones, as you can see. So again, in review of what we're talking about, what we generally want is when we start a melody, or when we're doing a melody like Avicii, we want the majority of our notes to really land on stable tonalities or stable notes. And you know it's a stable note because it's just a note that's part of the scale. So if I have this, you know, harmonic triad here, D sharp, the F sharp, the A sharp, I know they're flats, by the way, but pretty much if I hit this note, you can see F sharp, that's stable tone. A sharp, that's a stable tone. G sharp, that's not a stable tone. But again, you don't need to be stable throughout the whole bar there, or throughout the whole chord. We go down to the F, which again is stable. D sharp, which is going to be not stable. And then F, which is, you know, stable. So we can add variations of stableness and unstableness, but use stableness to guide us. So when we switch chords, have a stable note, and then from there you can do whatever the hell you want, theoretically. Alright guys, and here we have another chord progression, and I'm going to try and make this one a little bit different so that you guys can actually do other cool things with this thing that we're learning here, being stable. That's the key thing today. Okay, so chord progression sounds like this. Okay, very simple there. So again, we can start on any of these notes for our melody at the beginning of it. I'm going to go with the third triad now, which is this one up here, which is going to be the G. So we're going to start there. Now, a couple more tips I want to give you guys. This is not something Avicii does, but I think it's super cool. Is that you can jump between these notes here to create an arpeggiated melody, or even just go from a G to a C, G to a C, which is a very strong combination, as you're going to see. So we can do this. You know, let's do like a very fast rhythm there. So this sounds really cool in my opinion. So I really like it. And we can so that's going to be the melody there. Again, it's kind of like an arpeggiated melody without that middle note there, without the second triad. So that D sharp. So you can even maybe move this here. Because again, we're just playing a chord essentially, but making a melody out of it. You can even like vice versa this, where it's like this instead. But I actually like the other one a lot better, so we're gonna do that. So again, just some ideas giving you guys here so that you guys can do some cool stuff like this. And then here we're gonna move over to a G sharp, a chord C, and a D sharp. So here I can go up to a G sharp, I can go to that C, or I can go to a D sharp. Or I can go G sharp. And I think I like that one more. And then let's do dun 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 dun, and G sharp, C, and D sharp. So So D sharp, I'm playing that D sharp because again, being stable. So this whole part of the melody is very stable. In fact, this is all stable. And then we're gonna switch over to a G, a sharp, and a D. So dun, 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 dun. So I'm gonna repeat this melodic phrase here, or theme that we have, those little jumping horse scallops. You can see how he sounds good. All right, so let's see. Dun, 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 dun. And then here, maybe I could do this. Okay, because it's staying on the same chord, which is G, A sharp, and D. Let's check. Okay, so that one doesn't sound that half bad. I mean, it's not really that stable, as you can see. In fact, none of the notes are part of the chord, but it works decently. And that's the key thing that you guys have to note is that, well, this is theory that we're doing. A lot of times you might do stuff that doesn't agree with it, that works really good, and you can always leave it. So I really like this melodic phrase here, repeating the rhythm. So it really... So here I'm gonna switch this G sharp, C, D sharp. So G sharp. So maybe all I need to do is this, and then make it the D, I believe. Okay, or yeah, G sharp and the C. I think that might work. Let's try D sharp. And then here we switch again, A sharp, D, and F, 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 A sharp, D, and F. So again, switching. And then it ends with that G, and yeah, so here we can just go back to what we had in the beginning and bring it home, baby, bring the baby. This note, maybe. So we have another melody. So what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna put like some strings and some shit, some synths, so that you can actually hear how it sounds like now that we've finished them. Alright guys, so here I have a couple of presets that you can check out. Alright guys, so here I have a couple of presets with the second version. So this is how it sounds like with like synths and stuff. So that's the first one. Now here is, or that's the second one. Now here's the first one, okay? Here I can even like go up to like maybe like the A sharp here. I believe I'm in the D sharp. Yeah. So that's how we make easy melodies, guys, that sound great, as you can see. And again, it's all going to depend on the style of music you're making. You know, this could be a melody for trap if we lower it down to 80 and then we put a fucking 808 kick. You know, what's up, Mo? But you get the idea. You know, a lot of times when you create chords and melodies like this, you pretty much have the song done. You just have to produce it out in the way you see it in your head. Because at the end of the day, most songs can be characterized down to the chord and the melody that are playing. The rest is going to come from what the producer decides to do and what style and all that stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial on how to make melodies easily like Avicii. Not in the style of Avicii again. I know some people are going to dislike just for that fact that this was so trancy, but I hope this tutorial helped you guys out. And again, if you want to support the channel, guys, evilsounds.com is where you do that. And I'll see you guys next time for another video. You guys take care, and I hope that you found this useful.